Hey guys, tonight I want to show you one of my favorite recipes. It's a very simple mushroom pasta. It's like a comforting, creamy, yet vegan. Well, if you do a vegan Worcestershire or leave the Worcestershire out. And also I'm going to do a little bit of chicken bouillon, which I'll talk to you about that later. But anyway, it's yummy. It's delicious and it's healthy. And so I have 2 portobellos already sliced, and I'm going to show you how I remove this part with a spoon, the gills. So mushrooms are one of the very few vegan foods that have protein, iron, vitamin D, B vitamins. They also have a lot of minerals, calcium, selenium, copper, and a lot of immune boosting, antioxidants and antibiotics. They have so many benefits. For this recipe, you can get it on my blog at sexyhealthmakeover.com. It's Portabello. You can use any kind of mushrooms though. It doesn't matter, but this I named Portabello. Comfort pasta. You just slice, this one was really big, so I sliced it long ways or across once, and then thin slices across. Ooh. And then I start sauteing these. You know, everyone says not to wash your mushrooms with water, to just wipe them off with a cloth, a dry cloth. But I can't, I have to rinse them underwater. It, I guess, helps speed up the cooking or helps them to brown better if you don't do that, but I've always done it and I'm fine with it. So, so we've got 3 portobellos sliced, and then I'm going to put some olive oil, a good amount because I'm going to put some flour with it to make kind of a roux. Okay, and then in a minute I'm going to add a chopped onion. So mushrooms are like awesome meat replacers because they have such a meaty texture, and whatever spices or marinades you use with them, they absorb the flavor and they can really taste meaty. I love making fajitas with them, or like portobello steaks, or portobello burgers. So I'm going to add this. Oh, should I go ahead and add it? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and add it. Well, I should have done it. So mushrooms also help with weight loss, stabilize blood sugar, lower cholesterol. They help prevent cancer. They have a lot of good benefits, so it's something we really need to try to incorporate into our diets. So I wasn't really planning on doing this, but because I need a drink, I'm gonna give you a little refresher on my signature drink recipe. It's ice in a glass, a little spoon of monk fruit sweetener. I don't like any of the ones with erythritol and all those. I don't get those. I like the monk fruit and the raw. And then some tequila, 100% pure agave. And then some coconut milk. Any kind is good as long as it's not real sweetened, because you don't want to get a lot of sugar. You're sweetening with the monk fruit to avoid the sugar. So this doesn't have any added sugar. Making sure that I'm not lying here. And I can't see. No added sugar. Same like if you want to get the canned coconut milk or coconut cream, get the unsweetened kind. Because coconut is so sweet on its own. And then you just fill it up with water. Okay, I wonder, oh yeah, I'm gonna show you my salad dressing recipe. Okay, so I have a little bit of water. Any kind of yogurt you want to use, plain unsweetened yogurt. I like cashew milk yogurt. So probably about maybe 2 parts yogurt to 1 part water. Well, hopefully I'm going to be able to do this without a jar. I like to do it in a jar, of course, because you can shake it. And it mixes easier. Okay, so whenever I want like a ranchy type of a dressing, I use some granulated or powdered onion powder. Oh my goodness, I can't talk. Onion powder, garlic powder, and then dill and parsley, but tonight I'm going to put some basil in it too. So parsley. Okay, I should open the other side that comes out faster. Basil. And dill. If I want it like more of a Caesar type dressing, then I use the yogurt, water, and some Worcestershire sauce, and some powdered vegan Parmesan cheese. And with both some Himalayan pink salt and coarse ground black pepper. It seems like a lot of salt, but of course it's Himalayan, so it's healthy and it's not as salty, and this is the only salt in it, so. So you're getting all the probiotics in the yogurt. So it's healthy, no sugar, no fat. But a creamy, delicious dressing. Shaylee, can you see? Got it? Okay, I'm putting it in the fridge. We're going to check our mushrooms. You stir them up. Okay, so, where's Magic? We need to put the yogurt up. So, the mushrooms are taking a few minutes, so let's talk about something. So, okay, one thing that I wanted to say, I know that Milo, the cat, comes into the picture when I have food out, and I know that's crazy, and I know a lot of you are probably thinking a cat on the counter with food, and I agree completely. I've never liked it, but you know what? In the past few months, with everything else going on, I'm like, really? Like a little bit of cat germs on the counter? That's really not a big deal compared to, you know, there's a lot worse things. So I've just chilled out more about it, you know. I'm just like, yeah. So this is a mess. All right, let's check the mushrooms. Maybe it's time for Shaylee to bring the video around, or the camera around. So let's show the mushrooms. How about come see the mushrooms? I don't want to take them off they need to cook. So I know people are probably thinking, yeah, her mushrooms are taking long because she washes them with water. And that might be true, but it always works, so that's okay. I'll just turn it up. All of it will cook off as the mushrooms and the onions get sauteed. I'm sure that also adding the onions at the same time as the mushrooms adds cooking time, but that's okay. You know, I'm trying to speed up this whole process, of course, for the video, but in reality, you don't have to be so rushed. You just cook them. So the pasta water is boiling. I'm using gluten-free pasta, of course. So it's gluten-free and dairy-free and can be vegan if you either omit the Worcestershire sauce or get a vegan Worcestershire, or, and I'm going to put some chicken bouillon in, some better than bouillon. And you can either use, they have a vegetable option, So you can either use that, or you can use vegetable stock and cut down on the water, because we're going to add some water to it. Or you can just omit that altogether, because there's enough flavor in it that you don't really need it. I just like to do that. I like it that way. Okay, so they're getting cooked very quickly now. So we can turn them down. Let's go. Okay, so now, Shaylee, you want to check and make sure it's doing it? Okay, so looking pretty good. I'm going to turn the heat down to medium, low, depending on your stove. So the pasta takes 10 minutes, but we are going to probably cook it a little bit less. So 10 minutes. What do I have to do 10 minutes? You know what? Let me see. All right. So we salt the pasta water, but for some reason gluten-free pasta it absorbs more of the salt than regular pasta, because regular pasta you can put a lot of salt in the water and not over salt it. But for some reason gluten-free pasta can get really salty really easily, so just don't use as much salt in the water. And yes, I'm breaking it because it's okay. I didn't really think about it, and I got a small pan. I know, I'm sure people are cringing. I am too a little bit. And gluten-free pasta, you gotta kind of, in the beginning, you need to stir it a lot because it can stick together and get clumpy. I don't know why. Well, it's just more prone to that, so. But if you just stir it for the first few minutes and get them separated, usually you can prevent that from happening. Okay, so we put that in. Let's do our timer. Usually I turn it down a little bit. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Yeah, that's good. Okay, timer. Let's do timer. 10 minutes. And we might not go that whole time, because it can continue cooking in the sauce. Okay, so the mushrooms and the onions look great. Shaylee, check the camera. Good? Okay. So now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it off for just a second. I'm going to add a little bit of a gluten-free flour mix. Shaylee, I don't know, can you see the view? Is it good? Okay. Just like, I don't know, a couple tablespoons, just to thicken it up a little bit. And of course, I'm gonna add a lot of garlic. So we've got the prebiotics of the onions, the everything. The mushrooms do, the garlic. Garlic is everything. Let's see. I want to make sure. Okay, so I guess I do this next. It doesn't really matter, but okay, that was the spoon of chicken bouillon. You can omit it, or you can substitute vegetable bouillon or vegetable broth and decrease the water. Stir this up. And I haven't stirred the pasta. Looking good. Okay. So now a lot of garlic. So this is my damn. Okay, so this is my roasted garlic that I roast by the gallons and freeze in portions. Oops. That I'll use like about a week's worth. And what I'm getting ready to do, if I can get it on this spoon, is just kind of smash it. See it just, smashes easy, so really I could just do it in the pan too. So now it's time to deglaze this with some water. So I have 2 cups of water. And then I'm going to turn it up a little bit to medium, high, just to bring this up to a boil. Or you don't really have to get it up to a boil, but just to where it gets really hot so it'll thicken up. Okay. Let's see. Got that. Okay. So let me get our seasonings. This, and salt. Okay. And then got that and that. Okay, so I might need another cup of water. This is not like an exact amount recipe. This is like, if it's too thick, you add a little more water. If you need to thicken, you add a little more flour. Well, I mean, you don't want to add the flour really after this. I mean, you could, but really all you have to do if it really seems like it needs to be thicker is you just keep heating it more. And then when you add a little bit of the pasta water and the pasta, and you can, if it seems too watery, you just leave it on low and let it cook. And the pasta will absorb the sauce and the sauce will thicken. So it's not really an issue. But, so you just like see what it needs. So far I've put 2 cups of water in. So if you end up using a broth or stock instead of the bouillon, then you can just use 2 cups of that, or 1 cup of that and 1 cup of water or whatever. So that's the amount of liquid I have in here right now. And I'm turning it up, but now I have it on high because it's being slow because I added the cold water. And the pasta is looking really good. It has a little less than 3 minutes left. Of course, we don't have to go that long since it's probably going to sit in the sauce and continue cooking for a few minutes. Okay, so we did the garlic and the lid fell in there, so now I need to wash it. Shaylee, will you come around and I'll hand you this to put in the refrigerator? Oh, are your hands clean? Oh, never mind. Okay, so this is boiling now, and it's thickening up a lot. And I probably should have been stirring it the whole time to prevent clumping, but I'm going to move it off the heat for a minute. Okay, so now I want to show you what it looks like. This is hot. Well, Shaylee, can you please bring the the camera over here? I'm gonna put it on 3. Okay, so this is the sauce. Okay, creamy. Okay, so I'm putting it on 3, like a low to medium, and I'm going to add it's boiling a lot, so I'm going to take it off the heat for a minute. I'm going to add a little bit of tamari. I don't know, just like 7 dashes. Nothing, more or less, it doesn't matter. All right. Hold on, I need to take the pasta off the heat. So the pasta did good. I don't see any clumps. Okay, let me move the pasta over here. Turn that one off. Okay, so we did about 7 dashes or less or more, it doesn't matter, of the tamari, and then we're going to do the same with Worcestershire. And this one, I'm going to have another bottle because a little bit more. So if you want to do vegan, either add more tamari, omit this, or do a vegan Worcestershire. Okay? And then we are going to add this back onto the heat. Well, actually, this is the deal. We are going to put So we are going to, what are we doing? We're putting this on low, okay? And then we're gonna put this, well actually we're gonna go ahead and add our parsley. Salt and pepper. And remember, we already salted the pasta water, so we don't need to put too much salt in here, and the bouillon has some salt in it, and the Worcestershire and the tamari, so it doesn't need too much salt. And we never, the reason why I didn't add salt when I was sauteing the mushrooms is it really delays the cooking. It makes it hard for the mushrooms to brown if you add salt before the mushrooms are browned. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is drain the pasta. Okay, well first I'm going to stir in all of that. So far I don't feel like I need to add any more water because it's still pretty liquidy, but I know that we're gonna let it sit here and thicken. So far it's good, and I'm going to save a little bit of the pasta water, and I'm going to not drain all of it. I'm going to leave a little bit in there so I can add the pasta water with the pasta, and that helps thicken the sauce as well. Okay, I think I have about the right amount. Yeah, that's good. It was not too much because I didn't need too much, because this needs to cook down. And because of time, in reality you wouldn't mind. You would just let it simmer down for however long it takes. But since we're making the video, we're trying to speed up the process. So I'll turn it up a little bit to speed this up. I don't think oh, I am forgetting something. I'm forgetting to add a little bit of margarine. And I thought I had another spoon somewhere. Okay, so this is just a vegan margarine, or vegan butter. Just, I don't know, it's probably about 1 to 2 tablespoons, and you don't have to do this. It just makes it even more creamy and luscious, and adds just a little bit of flavor, but it's not necessary at all. So it's looking really good, but it just needs to thicken some more. This is really easy though. I've been doing other things today, so I was already exhausted, but it's simple, easy. How long has it taken? I don't even know how long. Shaylee, do you know how long the video is going? I'm thinking like 25 minutes. So, you know, that's not long. Shaylee, you want to show, well, yeah, you can show it right now, and then we'll show it again as it gets a little thicker. So that's why, I mean, it's different every time. You know, every time you make something, it's different. This time, thank goodness, I did not overcook the pasta, because a lot of times gluten-free pasta will fall apart. So I'm having to cook it quite a bit in here to thicken it up. So that's a, you know, that's a reason not to overcook the pasta, to maybe go a few minutes shy if your sauce needs to be thickened some and you know it's going to need to do some cooking in the sauce. But then the other side is, if your sauce is already really thick and you don't want it to cook anymore, then cook your pasta all the way. It just takes some time to learn about gluten-free pastas. They're just different, and you just have to experiment and find ones you like. There's so many options, you know, millions of different options. Usually I think it's just mostly, I feel like the rice pastas cook that, as far as the texture being more similar to wheat. I feel like mostly just rice. The quinoa, the corn, it depends on the brand, but a lot of them just get so mushy. There was, I think it's lentil pasta that's really good. The texture's really good. It doesn't fall apart, not too mushy, not too firm. I think a lot of gluten-free pastas just, it's hard for them, you know, they just tend to get mushy. And a lot of times you don't want to, if you cook it to the point to where it's very cooked, you don't really want to mix it in with the pasta, the sauce sometimes. You want to just put the pasta in on the plate or in the bowl and then put your sauce on top. If your pasta is seeming like it's going to fall apart easily, that's what you need to do. But this one is, oh, I threw away the box, hold on. It is, actually it does have, it's a blend of corn and rice. So this one's corn and rice, and I've been really happy with this brand. I use their lasagna. Look, their lasagna is great, no bake lasagna. And then they have a gluten-free fettuccine, a gluten-free spaghetti, and I just found a gluten-free penne pasta. And I haven't tried it yet, so I'm really excited about that. Okay, I think it's probably done. So, it's definitely, this is the deal. Shaylee, please, I need your help. It's still a little bit loose. Here, let's take it off here for a minute. Okay. So it's very creamy, very delicious looking, but it's a tiny bit loose. But what's going to happen is I'm going to let it sit here for just, I don't know, you can let it sit here. You can put it on low and put the lid on and let it sit there. Not too long, because you don't want your gluten-free pasta to get too cooked, but it can go for a few minutes. But it really doesn't need to be on the heat anymore. If I just put it here, put a lid on it, and let it sit for about 10 minutes, it will thicken and be perfect. The pasta did not fall apart. Shaylee, please. I need a new camera woman. The pasta did not fall apart at all. The mushrooms are beautiful and it looks awesome. I've made this pasta so many times and it always turns out good. And my kids are picky. They don't like mushrooms and, you know, but they love this pasta. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and I hope you guys love this recipe. And thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and tap the bell if you want to be notified when I upload a new video. Thank you so much. Bye.